Hello everyone, and welcome to my review for Kengan Omega Chapter 115. Yes, 115 for real, not 114.5. A whole new chapter, starting right from the beginning. So, before I get into this week's review, I of course have to mention my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you're already a fan of the channel and you're not subscribed, you might as well to help me reach that goal. The other thing is my Patreon. If you want to help support me and the channel directly while also getting access to some extra content, you can always become a patron. I have a link to that down in the description. With that out of the way, let's get on with the review. In this week's chapter, we get a bunch of stuff involving a variety of characters and the start of the next fight. So, for starters, Liu brings Nitoku all the way back over to the Kengan team. It's very nice. He has seemingly come to terms with Ryuki. He doesn't want to murder him anymore, but he has not accepted Nidon's death yet. Of course, Nidon was his best friend who just got killed like an hour or two ago, so I am not surprised at all by the fact that that is still really bothering him. It'd be unnatural if he had gotten over it this quickly. So obviously, it's still going to take a while for him to get over that. But he offers Nitoku a place in Purgatory and says that he would do a much better job there than he would as an author, which, that applies for both Kengan and Purgatory. Nitoku is just not a very good author. But it's nice. It's a nice gesture. I appreciate it a lot. I'm sure Nitoku does. And I just have to say once again, Liu is a great character so far. Probably the best, most fleshed out character we've gotten from all of Purgatory so far. So I'm very glad that he won his fight. I'm very glad that it seems like regardless of whichever team wins the tournament, Liu is going to be sticking around in some form or another. So I look forward to seeing some more from him. We get an important scene for technically three different side characters. So Joji and Kureishi both get a scene. They have not been super important for a while now. We knew they were here, we've seen them here before, but now they're going to go and meet the worms who almost killed Koga. So apparently now Kureishi and Joji are going to go and fight some people. That's pretty exciting because according to Fist of the Seeker, which is, I believe, written and drawn by Sandra, which is why the art looks like shit, is because Sandra is an author, not an artist. But Seeker is canon in Kengan, I guess, and Kureishi and Joji are both from there. And based on the ridiculous Baki tier shit they do there, apparently those two guys are S tier fighters, so they're gonna go fuck some guys up really bad. That's exciting. I hope that's not off screen. I wonder if they're going to encounter Edward, considering that Eddie and Ryan have not been shown in like 20 chapters. Yeah, so again, who the hell knows what's going on with that? I have come to terms with the fact that that fight is going to be off screen. Unless they make a very weird decision to, before the very last round, say, oh, this was happening 20 minutes ago, and flash back to Ryan fighting Eddie instead of just showing it when it happened. I find it more likely at this point that we're just going to see the aftermath, which is probably Edward having beaten the shit out of Ryan. Maybe we'll see Kureishi and Joji fight him. Who knows what'll happen there. The other thing is Muteba. Muteba got called up by Idemitsu after the 5th round, after Nidon died. And we haven't seen shit since then. It only took another 6 rounds for us to get back to that. But he is all geared up. Looks like he's going to go off and murder someone. Who knows who the hell Idemitsu would have wanted him to murder in this situation. Maybe the worm members that are here? But he apparently is a little disappointed because he wanted to watch someone fight. And we're not told who it was. But he's like, whatever, I'm getting paid a ton for this. So you win some, you lose some. Now, who could this person that Muteba wants to see fight, who could that be? I have an idea. So let's get into the fighters for this round. First off, it's finally time to enter Okubo. That's right. It's finally time for Okubo to go up. I'm very excited. I'm sure a lot of you are very excited. We've been waiting a long time to see how much stronger Okubo has gotten since the Annihilation Tournament on his quest to be able to defeat Agito. Who knows? Okubo may have gotten a massive power boost from Ashura. We'll just have to see. But I am very excited to see him go up his opponent, Terashi. That's right. I was right. Which, I love being right. Yeah, this is great. And Okubo enters in a very Okubo fashion. He's being very loud and obnoxious. But Terashi, oh my god. This guy is so fucking creepy. And he's never really given off this vibe before. He's just so lanky. His arms and legs look way too long. They're kind of getting in the way of his movement. It's very disturbing. Now, to make Terashi even creepier is the fact that his epithet is the Dead of Night, which is pretty fucking awesome. Now, I had seen someone else's translation before I got Shadow King's summary, saying that it was like the Soundless Nightmare, which is even cooler. If it was the Soundless Nightmare, that would probably be the coolest epithet in the series, but the Dead of Night is really good too, so I'm not complaining. Now, according to Faye, Terashi is the same name of a famous hitman in China, and he wonders if there's any correlation there, and Lelong gets kind of suspicious over that, because I guess Lelong probably doesn't know anything about Terashi either. He's still very mysterious. But if Terashi is said hitman from China, he's probably the guy that Muteba wanted to see fight, because he knew Falcon was a wrecker, so he probably knew Terashi as a Chinese hitman, so that was probably who he was talking about. But perhaps one of the most interesting things about Terashi is the fact that he's only had one fight in Purgatory as a B-rank fighter, and apparently his performance was so good that Idemitsu just immediately promoted him to A rank. So it's safe to assume that Terashi is pretty strong, pretty monstrous. He must have something kind of crazy going on to be promoted to A rank after only a single fight. His only other fight in Purgatory. So, yeah. I have some pretty high expectations for this fight. Considering how good the last fight was, I'm hoping that Sanjo and Daro can keep up the quality and make this a very good fight, because the fact that Okubo uses MMA and not some made-up martial art means that you can have, like, some very good choreography like you had in the last fight. So hopefully they don't fuck that up, and I'm hoping that Terashi is not a letdown. I personally want Okubo to win. I would prefer if Okubo wins. I find it more likely that Okubo will win because we really need to see how much stronger he's gotten. If we ever think he's going to beat Kano, we need to have him get a big win. Not an overwhelming victory, because I would still like for them to show how strong Terashi is, and you don't have to be like, holy shit, Okubo is now like top 5 in the series now. It can be like, man, Okubo had a very hard-fought victory against this guy, but this guy was very strong, so it shows how much Okubo has grown. I like these high-diff victories. They make the endings much more satisfying. So, yeah, my current prediction is a high-difficulty victory on Okubo's part. However, I don't mind if Terashi wins. I don't mind if Okubo loses. I'm totally fine with that, because Terashi is also a new character, and he's quite mysterious. He's got some hype now from the fact that only one fight in B rank was enough to promote him. So if we get to see some crazy shit at Terashi and he wins, and that means we get to see more from him in the future, I've got no issue with that. Is Terashi a clone of Kano? Is he someone else? Is he a completely new character? Who the fuck knows? What's the deal with the mask? We're gonna find out next chapter, because it seems like Okubo breaks it at the very start of the fight. I thought that would take a little longer, but I guess we're getting right into it. We're not going over any bullshit before then. We're just getting right to the face reveal. So I guess that will probably be the big thing that we get out of next week's chapter. I guess this also confirms that Terashi is almost definitely not the Tiger's Vessel, because the Tiger's Vessel would not go up to fight Okubo, which means, that's right, it's almost definitely Faye. I don't think they're going to make Lelong the Tiger's Vessel. That would be dumb. That would be a very stupid decision. I would be very angry at Sanjo if he decided to make Lelong the Tiger's Vessel. I don't think that works. So Faye is obvious in a different way from Terashi, and that Terashi is this complete mystery with a hidden face. So, of course, you would expect the super mysterious guy to be the Tiger's Vessel. But in the same vein, Faye has really not made himself the center of attention. He doesn't really voice his opinion that much. When he has, it's been in very suspect ways, like talking back to Lelong and accusing him of being a worm, and no one really talks back to Lelong. So Faye kind of has the, oh, you wouldn't expect him to be the Tiger's Vessel, so it's very obvious that he's the Tiger's Vessel thing going on. But yeah, so I'm thinking it's Faye, and I think at this rate, what's probably going to happen is Okubo wins, we go back to a tie, Lelong decides, alright, I gotta get us an easy win, so Lelong will go out in the next fight Wakatsuki, and win, and then for the last fight of the tournament, we're going to have Faye and Oma fight as a hopefully not shitty Nico style versus Nico style fight. I really hope that one won't suck, because knowing how Formless versus Formless was just kind of a fucking mess, I'm hoping that a Nico style versus Nico style thing won't be a mess as well. But yeah, once again, excellent chapter, very exciting, hyped to see Okubo enter, finally, hyped to see Terashi enter, we're gonna finally find out about him, he's fucking creepy, he's cool, I'm very excited about this fight, and I hope you are too. So with that, that is all I have to say about chapter 115 of Kengan Omega. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kengan Omega chapter reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Record of Ragnarok, and Chainsaw Man, I do videos in this series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. And since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons, Archbear CJ2K, Fuse, Neo, Dejan Redden, Anthony Chavez, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K-God, Chris Redfield, Scratch23, Moonshadow935, Rat, and Ryzen4K. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos, or access to reviews for Solo Leveling and the Boxer, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.